Attention, you fabulous people online and in-house. Throw out your I just woke up face and put on your I'm going to Disney World face, because we are definitely not going there. Even though it's a good idea. Hey, Harold, write that one down.
What?
Do you want some knock your socks off content? Well, you didn't ask, and we're here to deliver. Now, trim your nose hairs, shave the cat, because without further ado, here's Ken.
Well, I'm glad the cat's going to be shaved.
Well, hey, I'm still upset about not going to Disney World. I'm sorry. I want to ride roller coasters.
I mean, I could see why you'd be upset.
Coasters, man.
If that's all it is with you, Harold.
You know what? If you're not, just the feeling of adrenaline that you know you're alive.
Well, hello everybody who's now watching. If you have not shared,
Sure.
I just finished sharing, but I had to share quickly because somebody, and I'm not going to mention my
Sharing
producer's
is
name,
caring.
Harold, because that'd be wrong, was rushing me, and all I could put in there was join us.
Sharing is caring.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Not when you're producing me, it isn't.
Hey, you know what? Somebody's got to keep you on time.
Well, it's kind of funny that you mentioned that since we're going to be talking about trains and all, right?
Hey, definitely. Trains and air traffic control, things have to be on time.
They got to be on time. They got to be on time. Well, as y'all can see, I wore my awesome Sasquatch shirt tonight and my brand new Happy Birthday to Me MR Ducks hat. That's right. I'm promoting MR Ducks.
Oh, happy birthday.
I love MR Ducks. Hey, thanks, Josh. Appreciate it. Several days. What? Thanks, Riley. Appreciate it, buddy. We celebrated it last week. Everybody on here watched us do it.
And I sang excellent.
Anybody who watched last week's video knows there was no such thing as excellent.
It was excellent.
No, it was
excellent.
Pastor Jim.
Well, that's Jim, but I'm saying we were excellent.
It was definitely off key.
Is that what we're gonna say, D? Off key? Sound like a cat in a blender is what it sounded like.
Hey.
Anyways, so last week we hid somebody, of course, and we
always hide him.
We hide him,
but he always tries to tell us where he was.
Right, he tries to point it out, and that just doesn't work for us. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna need to show them where Riley was hiding, because I didn't see anybody. Did anybody comment?
No.
I didn't see any comment.
And I thought he was kind of easy this week.
I don't know why y'all don't comment. Like, just say
I found him.
The guy, like last week, I saw it instantly. Yeah, there he is. He's behind the box.
He's pretty
behind
easy
the
last
box.
week.
He was looking.
This was not a hard one this week.
He was looking into the living room.
It wasn't, but yet, like, I didn't get it the first time around. Maybe I was standing over. Whoops.
Maybe you're standing in
Maybe
front
I was
of him.
standing over there.
Josh,
this
was my scene.
Josh, this was Josh's scene. That's what happened.
Almost
Josh
forgot.
was blocking it.
No.
I can't remember when I had the epiphany that I remembered where he was.
I don't know. But hey, that's where he was?
That's where he was. And guess what?
He'll be hiding somewhere this week.
Nobody's getting $20.
Oh, wow.
So, oh well.
Is that
Maybe they can do it this week.
Maybe.
I don't know. I didn't give you easy pictures to hide him.
I think I did all right.
Did you? So where I'm standing right now is Cass Scenic Railroad. The beginning scene was Martinsburg, West Virginia, at the train yard, right next to the renovated B&O Roundhouse, and that is part of the Roundhouse. You can go into it from there. And then I am standing in Cass Scenic Railroad, which is way down yonder in West Virginia. And by yonder, I mean way down yonder.
Hey, John Moody has commented from the at-home audience.
Has he?
And he says that maybe he should use a magnifying glass.
For Riley or for Cass?
I don't know.
Or for my shirt?
I don't know what he said.
He definitely doesn't need this for my
that's
shirt.
a little loud.
Yeah, it's loud.
But,
But I'm telling you right now, John Moody's sitting there at home going, I should get a shirt like that. I ask him.
Yeah, he's probably thinking it right now.
He's probably thinking right now, where did Ken get that shirt? I need it. He's right. He needs it.
Yep.
Anyways, so this week, I'm going to sweeten the pot.
Uh-oh.
So if you can find Riley this week, I'm going to
At-home
give you.
players only.
I'm going to give you $10
$10
and a pack of Twizzlers.
and a pack of Twizzlers. But that's for at-home players, right?
That's at home players, but Pastor Jim says he needs some, so I'll just bring some in for him on Sunday. But $10 and a pack of Twizzlers. What kind of, who wouldn't want a prize like that, right? If you find Riley really quick, like if you see him tonight and you're online and you say, I know where Riley is, and you do it like within the first, like the minute you see him, I might throw in like some Sour Patch Kids too.
Look, Riley's not going to win it because he would have to find himself, and we know that's just not going to happen.
Riley comes up to the big screen over here
But the
and
thing is,
stares at it until he finds himself.
How is it fair that the guy who was standing there when they took the picture gonna say where he was?
I don't know. That's
Like, come on.
That's a good question.
You were standing there.
All right. Well, that's true. That's true. So, anyways, if you haven't guessed it yet, I'm at a railroad station. Like I said, at Cass Scenic Railroad, outside of Snowshoe, West Virginia, not far away from there, down yonder. Listen, you don't have cell service where this is, I can promise you. Well, only because Green Bank Observatory, which is a satellite place, they shut the phones down. Literally, there is a circle that you cannot get service at all. So them people down there, they're still using them their home lines that are run to the pole and then out the pole. And
We have a guess, but it's wrong.
we have a guess?
But it's
Who
wrong.
guessed it?
John Moody says bottom. So I want you to point to the bottom left corner of the right window.
I can't point to any bottom because I always point to the wrong bottom.
Right? That is not Riley. That is a picture of an elf.
Oh, you mean this guy over here?
There's an elf in the window.
Yeah,
That is not Riley.
Whoa, diversion, man.
So that is not him.
Not Riley, John.
That is close, but not Riley.
John just wants the Twizzlers, the $10, and he could care less about the Sour Patch Kids. But I know he wants the Twizzlers and the $10.
Again, $10, 3 drops a game.
You know, our guest probably knows John Moody wants the $10 in the Twizzlers.
Yeah, probably.
So-
we are moving on.
Yeah. Huh?
Moving on?
Are you ready?
Yeah.
I'm not.
Oh, well, okay.
I might have had something more exciting to say.
Okay.
I don't. I said I might.
Well, hey.
So if we're ready to get on to Josh, I guess we're going to play a commercial then?
Yeah.
We should play a commercial then. Go ahead.
Half-calf giraffe.
And Joe.
Half calf. We've got to get the order on. We've got to find people that need Jesus. What do you mean there's a peanut missile coming? Well, we got to get out of here then. Hold on. One move.
And that's why you can't have a spaceship.
I mean, and that's why you cannot have a spaceship.
That's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Giving me a spaceship would not be good, especially with half calf. He and I would be, it'd be bad.
So we
all
talked
about
so much
one
about it, I had to wear it.
Oh, yes, the best grandpa ever.
Best grandpa
Best
ever.
shirt ever, other than the one
day,
I'm
folks.
wearing.
One day. I'm not actually a grandpa. One day, though. Number
He's
one.
not even old enough to be a dad almost.
I could be.
You could be, but.
No,
And I wouldn't know about it.
All right, what do we got? What
right,
are we
number
doing
one.
tonight? What exciting stuff do we have, Josh?
Let's start, Leo. You got the mic ready.
Okay.
Over here.
Who's Mike?
That mic.
Oh, that's Leo
when it goes
Mike.
pop, pop.
Oh, the butler.
Let's start with Miss T.
The butler's ready. All right.
Jeeves.
Miss
Jeeves
T,
is ready.
what is the funniest or most ridiculous made-up word you can think off the top of your head? Give me something.
What was that? He made
No,
up
he
for
can't
it.
even pronounce it now. He couldn't pronounce it then. He's not going to be able to do it Sunday.
First thing that comes off the top of your head.
Okay, you're taking that one?
Really.
I like it. It's
Okay.
good.
That works.
Spaglia di
You can't say it now.
Zunu Mahi.
He's trying to speak Greek. Yeah, the only problem with Greek is it sounds Greek to me.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Nice.
It is.
Coffee, a latte hot.
What?
A lot of coffee that's hot. Like it.
That's scary. Both of us are on the same page.
I don't know.
I don't know.
That's crazy. That's living on the edge,
funniest one I
Des.
heard all
That
day.
is definitely a different word.
Riley's got nothing. Come on, Riles. What do you got?
Nothing.
Nothing. You can't think of any cool, crazy word?
Perp.
Perp.
Perp. I like it. He wanted to say purple, it just didn't all come out. No, is that a word though? Perp?
Barzillai.
Yeah, the perpetrator.
What did you say, Bill?
Barzillai.
Okay. that's a good one.
Barzillai, I like it. Is that an actual word?
It's a name.
It's a name.
It doesn't have to be.
I'll tell you where it's at, but I just...
It doesn't have to be an actual word. But
Neuter.
neuter.
That's a word.
That is a word. That's a word.
Yes.
Somewhere a cat just cringed. That's all I'm saying.
Somewhere I cringed.
I have an online entry.
Oh, an online entry. It's got to be John Moody.
So John Moody says flibberty gibberty. So I give him
That's
ding ding
cheating.
ding ding ding.
That is kind of cheating.
Yeah, but
No.
it's awesome.
You
You got to wait till the next one,
That's
Bill.
it.
Was it?
All right, D.
No, he don't get no money for that.
D, what do you got?
Was it?
Granny-fied.
Granny five.
Granny fine.
Leo, what's
Leah, what's your deep word?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. A lot of nothing's going
Can we
on.
get a new butler, by the way?
New butler.
I ain't your butler. Mine is grande cafe latte hot.
What? You can't steal from your wife?
No, that's what I have to say whenever I go to Starbucks.
Oh.
I have no idea what it means.
No, it's Venti.
That's good.
Oh,
Venti.
see, I screwed
Yeah.
up already. See?
Venti means large.
Mine is Biscotti.
Biscotti. I like it.
Biscotti.
So-
Gotta be with
so-
a B.
No
I
wonder
thought
got it
about
wrong,
it.
though.
Did
It
you?
actually popped into my head.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to cheat and take forever or the whole day to get the answer.
Thank goodness.
Yeah. So it took 2 seconds actually. So it's Spadoinkle.
I like it.
First thing popped in my head. Spadoinkle.
Okay.
Sounds like something a cartoon would say.
Linda's watching, by the way.
That's good.
Yeah.
Like it. All right. Number
Like
2.
Zoink.
Yeah, like
All right. And I know. I
Like
have to
straight
do
out
this.
of Batman.
All right.
I do this all the time to you guys, and I know it's pain and torture, but
Pain and torture.
2 of these ice cream flavors have to go.
2 of them?
Ice cream
2.
flavors.
I give you 4.
Oh, you're gonna give us 4? We
I
gotta
give
get
you
rid
4.
of
2 have to go.
This is messed
2.
up.
Oh man.
Okay. Number 1,
T says it's fine, but
cookies
it's not.
and cream. Number 2, Rocky Road. Number 3, chocolate chip cookie dough. Number 4, strawberry.
Ooh, man.
Cookies and cream.
Oh, that's an easy one.
Cookies and cream, Rocky Road, chocolate chip cookie dough, and strawberry.
Well, I'm gonna have to say Rocky Road and chocolate chip cookie dough.
Ooh.
So bye cookies. But apparently Miss T does not like
All of
cookies.
them but strawberry. That's
Strawberry stays and everything else
Strawberry's
goes.
the only. I take 3, so that's.
You know what? You know what? For that, you should move.
Yeah. You should move, Jim.
I'm going to Carolina where they celebrate people who like strawberry alone.
Oh, hey.
Homemade, that's right.
Okay. Linder.
Rocky Road and cookies. What's that? Sugar something you said?
Cookies and cream.
Cookies and cream. Yeah.
They have to go.
They gotta go.
She's not my mother anymore.
Yes, she is.
She wants the strawberry.
It's
And,
not true. We
Or
can
you better
prove
have a good answer because you're backup.
yeah, the backup.
Rocky Road and strawberry.
It's the devil, you say. Okay. We're gonna have a service for Lori.
I'm surprised she didn't say Rocky
So you're
Road.
50% right.
She said Rocky Road, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't like butts.
All right,
nuts
Des.
and bolts.
What do you got, Des?
I'll go with the 2 classics, strawberry and chocolate. I mean, come on.
That's what
They're
she
like
wants.
the 2 classic. They're the classic ones, and I don't want them anymore.
Oh, no,
Whatever, Des.
They're overrated, right? They're overrated.
Overrated. That's what she's saying. Overrated.
Moving on.
Strawberry and Rocky Road.
I knew you were
Bye-bye,
gonna say that.
Oh.
John Moody said
and
all
Rocky
ice
Road.
cream. That's not fair either.
That's true.
Yeah, he's not playing fair, is he?
He isn't.
Rocky Road and cookies and cream.
You see, yeah.
I can't deal with this.
You're the one that chose them.
I know. One move.
One move. Come on. What are you waiting for, Butler?
Cookie dough and strawberry.
Cookie dough and strawberry. It's gotta
Oh,
go.
Kate, you are not living in my house anymore.
Rocky Road and
Rocky Road and strawberry. Leo, if you say nothing, I'm
You
going
say
to
nothing,
body
we're
slam
gonna
you.
pound you in the parking lot.
Wow.
Yes, we will.
Rocky Road cookies and cream.
What?
Right.
And I will say let's get rid of the. You got to keep the things that are chocolate. So strawberries got to go, and cookies and cream is cookies are fake chocolates.
I'm gonna have to find somebody else.
Yep, I agree.
I'm going with Rocky Road and cookies and cream only because I had to make a choice, and I love chocolate chip cookie dough with strawberry. So those two win.
So in reality, you're copying two other people.
Yes, Leo.
Yes.
Now go get my car.
So a lot of you must like chocolate chip cookie dough then.
Yes.
That's kind of what we were saying.
So I'm getting rid of that.
Of course you are.
And strawberry.
Of course you are. Who didn't know that? Okay, third thing.
All right, number 3. Here we go.
Are we doing trivia or is this just the third?
No, we
thing?
got a riddle too. This is the third question, then we got a riddle. All right, so if you could put wings on any wingless animal, which animal would you choose? If you could put wings on any wingless animal, so an animal that does not have wings, that is what that means. Which animal would you choose?
A dolphin.
A dolphin.
A dolphin. I like
dolphins.
Flying dolphin.
Pigs.
Flying pig.
Oh, how original! How original.
Me.
Miss Linda gets to fly.
My mom's saying she's an animal.
Okay, first of all, I've seen Miss Linda drive. I'd be concerned if she's flying.
Just one more dimension.
Yeah.
One.
Bunny.
A bunny. I like it.
A Sasquatch.
A Sasquatch.
Why would you put wings on my friend?
So they fly away.
That would be putting wings on you.
What's that animal called? It's
What's the animal called? Gee, Connor, we don't know what the animal's called. There's a lot of them.
capybara. He wants to put wings on a capybara.
Capybara?
A giant rodent flying.
Chihuahua.
A chihuahua.
Yo,
I can think of 1,000 reasons why I agree with that, and none of them are good.
A snake.
A snake.
A killer whale.
Killer whale.
Alligator.
Alligator.
Why?
See, all right. Well, I'm gonna say mine now.
Hey,
Then
wait,
I
wait.
would choose crocodile.
I was gonna go with a porcupine.
See, you all aren't thinking.
Crocodile.
You aren't thinking. What's more fun than a hippopotamus with wings? Think about what comes out of a hippopotamus.
Okay, but I
first of
have
all.
one question for you.
Can you imagine the fun of that thing taking off? And it's like a B-52 bomber.
Right, but I have one question for you. Would you want it for Christmas?
No. No, for
He doesn't want a
Christmas, I'd want
hippopotamus
like an elephant that
You
has
don't want a
wings.
hippopotamus for Christmas.
And John Moody says he would like a buffalo,
Buffalo.
so he can get some big chicken wings.
Oh my gosh, he needs so much help. I'm so glad he chimed in tonight. All right, it's
great.
What's our riddle?
All right, I'm gonna hold on for this one.
Okay,
Hold
where are
it
you holding
on.
on? Oh, to the train? Good.
Yeah, actually, I'll grab this bar.
There you go, grab that bar.
Grab that one because the other
Yeah.
one's not a bar.
There, does that look realistic?
It's realistic.
Close
You're good.
enough.
All right.
Better hop on though.
What has 15 diamonds but isn't rich? I want the teens to answer this. So if you're an adult and you're over the age of 90, then don't answer it.
That leaves
You
John.
know who you are. Well, John Moody can answer because he's online. So what has 15 diamonds but isn't rich? Think about it. What has 15 diamonds but isn't rich? And no, it's not My Beautiful Smile.
We knew that.
Okay. It is beautiful.
Yeah, guess.
Yeah, I guess that's the whole point, Riley. You're supposed to guess.
It's neither beautiful or rich. The smile, that is.
Go ahead, Riles.
He's saying a diamond ring.
No. It's not a diamond ring.
And how are you gonna get 15 diamonds on a diamond ring? Anyways, go ahead.
Apparently, he hasn't bought one.
Yes, go ahead.
It's not a treasure chest.
Not a treasure chest.
It's a good answer, though.
Kate. Well, I figured that. I just wanted to say your name.
All right.
Leo's got it. I can see it. There's smoke coming out of his
Leo?
head.
What is the answer, Leo? You know it.
I don't.
Oh, you didn't have anything. Again, nothing.
Nothing.
Can I guess
so,
now that you...
The adult can now answer.
I do have an online.
Hold on.
I do have
okay,
an
hold on.
online.
Donald
Yes,
Vitale
I
is
have
online.
I have an online, a deck of cards.
He looked it up. Yes, deck of cards. It is a deck of cards.
Donald Vitale, stop cheating. And why aren't you here tonight?
That's true.
And how does it, now I would like to know how you get 15 diamonds in a deck of cards.
Well, there's only so many
Dude,
diamond cards.
I just look up the riddles. I don't like.
Because there's 13
answer them
diamonds
myself.
in a deck.
You're not counting the king and the queen and all.
The 13 diamonds in a deck.
And the ace.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go hitch a ride on this thing here, and I'll
Yeah, you
see
need
you
to
all
leave.
at some
Okay,
time
commercial us.
soon.
He can do that for me?
Really? So I can be saved?
Who are you talking to?
Joseph from Arimathea.
At 3 in the morning? Who is this?
Joseph from Arimathea.
What are you wearing, Joseph of Arimathea?
A robe?
She sounds hideous.
Well, he's a shepherd, so...
Would you like to be saved? I still think that's one of the...
Lori says, why do we always make her the bad guy?
But she's not really the bad guy. Well, she wasn't that one, yeah.
and then she told you couldn't get a spaceship.
Now, wait a minute. She wasn't the bad guy in the car commercial.
No, she wasn't.
She was a special model.
Yeah, she was the top of the line.
I think she's just complaining to complain.
I don't know. Maybe that is. Sometimes that
She's not in here, so we can't really worry about it anyways.
That's right.
Hey, I bet my guest knows where this bridge is, too.
Oh, yeah?
I bet he's been across it multiple times. That's right.
So we have
Harper's Ferry.
Amy is now watching.
We have what?
Amy is watching.
Who's Amy? Let's check.
Tina's mom.
Oh, that's good. Hi, Amy! Did you see the peanut missile, Amy? Because we've run that commercial already, but we'll run it for you again if you missed it and you want to see peanut flying. Anyways, it's so good that Amy's joined us. Donald Vitale, I don't know if you know this, but the teen room is here at the church. Well, you could have brought your friend with you to the church. Riley just threw you under the bus. Riley did it. Okay. I'm sorry for that. All right. She did see it, so awesome. Okay, so this part here is just to remind you what we're doing when we're saying finding Private Riley. If it was me and I was putting him somewhere, I'd have him hanging off the ledge up here, the cliff. Whoa,
I was considering putting him under the bridge hanging, but you know.
So anybody that knows this spot knows that right above this ledge is Maryland Rock. And basically, you climb to the top. My hand keeps disappearing. It's like I'm talking to Jesus, touching Jesus. So up here where Jesus is, okay, I've lost my arm. Climbers go up there all the time. Look out, everything like that. A lot of professional climbers go up the face. I've seen it. I'm not doing it. Okay, I'm just not doing it. Now I know somebody has fallen from there too, which adds to the why I'm not going to do it. Okay, I'm just not going to do it. That's right. If God wanted me to fly like Linda, He'd give me wings, and I don't have them. And you look at this body; it isn't climbing anything anytime soon, right, Josh?
Left.
Right. Anyway, so somewhere you have to find Riley in all of these pictures. I'm just reminding you, $10 and Twizzlers are on the line.
And not the one that we circled them in yellow.
Not the one that we already circled. Somebody did that one week. I remember.
Yeah, I know, exactly. It's like, there they go. I found him in the video.
Well, that's because he had a circle around him. Of course you found him.
Or and he's not in any of the commercials.
He's not in any of the commercials today. That's true, he's not. Now that I'm running through the mind.
Actually, I think he's in one of the commercials. He was in the Joseph.
Oh, he wasn't Joseph of Arimathea.
He holds the sign next to
I almost feel like we should play the just throw an extra one in there and play the
Doritos
the
Time
car
Machine.
commercial one, you know? I like the Doritos Time Machine, but not as much as I like the car commercial. I love the car commercial. Anywho, find Riley, will you? Come on. Get on there, say where Riley is, and find him.
And they're
okay?
saying that Donald had to stay home because he was afraid to get his hair wet.
Have you ever seen Donald's hair wet? I mean, that's probably a legitimate claim. If you want to understand how it works, take a mop, stick it in a bucket, pull it out. That's what Donald will look like.
Wow.
That's loving. It's real. Donald, he's not going to deny it. He does, but when you put him in a bucket of water, he doesn't.
You'd have clean floors for life.
You would. That's true.
I thought he'd look more like a Brillo pad or something.
No, that's if you're cleaning your pots.
Oh.
That's different. But you got that. Your sister says you look like Shirley Temple. I don't know, Donald. I'm just saying, if you were here, you could defend yourself, but you're not. And by the way, we had cake tonight, Donald. Nanny, 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 nanny. Okay, now the mature level has gone up. Butler, are you ready? Riley, are you ready to help Butler put the stuff where it belongs?
Yeah.
Harold, hit me with a commercial. Or a video, actually, video.
City of cars, what are the odds that they'd find me? Inspection sticker, expired in 2003.
I'm sorry, you're just not a good fit.
Adulting is hard, all these responsibilities. I thought this would be something grand. Then my parents kicked me off the family plan.
You're fired.
It's Labor Day.
Yeah, I can see that no one else is here. Good luck in the real world.
Want to drive me into the mountains so we can dance in the glow of the beautiful sunset?
Can't. My state inspection's expired. Could walk to the planetarium.
I'm kind of broke. And this was my last clean shirt. I guess I will say goodbye.
These bills are piled high.
A red sock got in the wipes. What a waste of a lovely night. Pretty strange we keep running into each other.
Maybe it means something.
Well, we're both unemployed and live on the same street, so
Yeah.
maybe I'm not mature enough.
Yes, you are.
Maybe I'm not. My parents want me to go to law school. I just don't know what I'm supposed to do.
This is adulting. It's conflict, and hard work, and it's very, very exciting.
Just write your own rules, you know? Make them as interesting as you are.
Do you understand anything about what lawyers do?
Yes. Do the law stuff.
I thought it would be exciting and fun and colorful, but it's just kind of blah.
Tonight on Cushy's Corner, former train conductor and current Gideon, Bill Stone, joins us live. And now, here's Cushy.
All right. Wow. I'm so big, and then my sign is so small. But yes, thank you. One person claps for Cushy's Corner. So, well, he was just introduced, so I might as well just ask him to come up and bring his box of goodies. So, Mr. Bill Stone, can you come on up here and join me in the seating area, please? So I've gotten his job wrong 1,000 times, and Bill is so gracious that he will correct me, and that's what I like about him. Connor, that last video, by the way, that was specifically for you since you're heading into adulthood.
Wow.
Look what you get to look forward to.
Called you out.
Isn't it cool?
Connor. You know, Bill,
Blah, blah land. Getting a job, being fired for Labor Day, you know, all that.
Bill, I wonder if conductors have the same issue as air traffic controllers, because they always tell people, they're like, so you're the guy with the sticks and doing this. And I'm like, no, that's
I don't think you ever had a stick, did you? You had a flag, right? Flag, but not a stick. Okay.
Getting fired because you came into work.
On Labor Day.
Well, you ain't gotta.
Came into work.
I can promise you don't have to worry about that with me.
Yeah.
So, folks, welcome to Cushy's Corner. This is week number 3. Week number 3 brings us a conductor. But, Bill, why don't you tell us a little more detail about what you did for the trains?
Okay, can I share a little bit of trivia first? Trivia question?
Absolutely. We got people watching tonight, so
Okay.
absolutely.
Actually, we do have quite a few people watching.
According to Scripture,
oh, here we go.
Who was the first female railroad engineer?
According to Scripture, the first female railroad engineer. Pastor Jim left, so he can't get this one. John Moody's probably just staring at his TV right now.
Probably asleep by now.
Who was according to Scriptures, who was the first female engineer, train engineer? Come on, Harold. You're the theologian out of
I would have to say Eve.
Eve? He's saying Eve.
No, it would be the Queen of Sheba.
Queen of Sheba.
Because when she came to see Solomon, in all his wisdom, it says a very great train followed her.
Oh my goodness. If I had my drum set here, there'd be a rim shot right now.
Is that
That's beautiful.
Okay, close enough.
Close enough.
But yeah, that was really good from the guests. You know, because I was kind of what?
Shane didn't give us something like that last week, did he?
And I didn't give you anything like that the week before.
No. I'm glad I have a guest now that wants to interject.
And John says he's not asleep yet, so he's poking fun.
No, he's still staring at the TV trying to figure out Queen of Sheba part. All right, so you got some stuff in your box here, but what did you do, sir? What was your occupation before what you do now?
Okay. I was a railroad brakeman when I hired, and I was promoted to railroad conductor. Conductor's in charge of the train. The engineer drives the train. And I brought a device that the engineer actually uses. And that is called a reverser.
A reverser, okay.
So basically it's the key.
That's what I was going to say. It looks like a key.
Mm-hmm. And then when you put that key in the console of the engineer's control stand, it's always in this. You can only get it in the center position. That's neutral. And then when you put it to the right, it'll click over and it'll stay. That's forward. And then when you click it 2 positions to the left, that's reverse.
I need an engine right now. Because that would be fun. And you know what? Just so you know, this is terrible. This is all on me. But teenagers, he actually offered me a ride in a train and I didn't get to go. I know. Riley's upset now. Riley's upset. I wasn't bright back then. That was my pre-Cushy days.
He said
I don't
back
know.
then.
What are you trying to say now, Harold?
He said back then.
All right, moving on. All right, what else we got in that box there, Bill?
Okay, well, of course you're riding up there in the cab of the engine with the engineer, and then when he stops, he just looks over at you with that look of, if you think I'm going to get off and get that switch, you're sadly mistaken.
Yes.
Now the switch is something that's in the rail, and it switches the train so it can go from one track to the other. Once it goes towards the other track, no matter what track it goes to, it goes over a frog. There's a frog there. We had to fill out a book when I first hired, and they always said that you weren't allowed to step on frogs. And they kept saying, I said, well, how come they don't say rabbits or snakes or anything? But the frog, I don't have a picture of it, but the frog is in there, and you'll see where it has a divot that goes this way or this way. That's the frog.
Okay.
It's called a frog. Okay. So, since I don't want the rain to get my hair wet.
No.
And I don't want the sun to get in my eyes, I always put a hat on.
Okay.
Okay.
Works.
Now, where I worked at in later years, they made you wear safety glasses.
That's right. And you never know in stepping stones what could come out of the seats, so.
Now, when I first hired, they didn't have two-way radios. All you had was the light. Okay. And of course, we all know that Jesus is that light, and he'll point us in the right direction, that's for sure. And out in Martinsburg, up there at Shenandoah Junction, if you know where that is.
Shenandoah Junction, I know where that is.
I got off there one night, had to set a car out, okay? Now, when you set a car out, that's when you have to take a car out of the middle of the train because it had a hot box. I bet nobody knows what a hot box is. In olden times, there was a box on the bearing, and the only thing in there was a sponge. And it would get hot, and the only way to fix that was to set it out. Now they have roller bearings, but you still have to set them out if it goes over a detector. We had to set it out there at Shenandoah Junction. Okay? And the only thing I had was this light, and I mean, it was dark.
It is out there.
If I didn't have this light, I'd be double dark. I wouldn't have saw anything. But anyway.
Oh, he even brought his radio.
The engineer can't see that light because I was probably back about 4,000 feet. Okay. And the tracks don't go straight everywhere.
Not in West Virginia, they don't.
They curve everywhere. So with that, I'm out of practice here.
Nobody would notice. We wouldn't know anyway, so.
And there's a radio here, you can talk to two people. You can talk to that engine where the engineer is, but there's also a feature on here where you can talk to the dispatcher who runs those trains, who sets those signals up. He's in Jacksonville, Florida. And you get on there and talk to him just like he's down the street. Okay?
That's pretty cool.
And that's the way it is with the Lord. We can talk to him directly. And he's the one that makes the decisions on the things we do. And that's the way that dispatcher, he can either light you up and give you a signal, or you can sit there all night. So that's why you're always nice to the dispatcher, because you want to make sure he gives you that light so you can go home.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
I have one other thing here. It's not really a tool that I use, but yet it was a tool that I used.
Nice.
Can anybody guess what this is?
It's a piece of metal. I win.
Have you ever seen a slice of bread? Okay. Have you ever seen the full loaf of bread with the slices in there? Okay, well, try to think what this would be if you put a whole bunch of slices together.
He's smart, ain't he?
Well, it's actually the rail.
The rail.
They call that the rail.
Well, good job, Connor.
The
Connor was
track
good.
would be the completed part with the rail on top of the cross ties.
So that was cut off at the end of one of the rails?
Yes.
I like it.
What they do is when it gets cold out, they get pull aparts, okay? There's miles of this rail, but there's a joint somewhere. And it'll separate there, or even without the joint itself, it'll break. So what they do is they'll take a piece of rope cord, it's not called rope, but it looks like a piece of rope cord, probably about 50 feet long, and they'll soak that in kerosene, and they'll put it up against right here, where this rail is right here. They'll put it right along there, and then they'll light it on fire. And then what that does is that heats up and that expands. Then they'll drill new holes in it in here and put bars in there and put that track back together. And that's what happens.
I'm quitting Discover. I'm going to work on the rail.
But we need to get on the track.
We need to get on track. You can take your vest off because you're actually invisible. It's kind of cool.
But anyway,
you're the first invisible guest we've had.
There's a signal. Every engine has an F on it, and it's not for a cuss word. It actually means that's the front. So that's if wherever that's facing, in other words, if it was facing this way, and the engineer was looking at me and I wanted him to go that way because the F is here, I would have to go like this so he would back up. If the F was on that end and I wanted him to go that way, then I would tell him to go like this.
Okay? How about that?
And then when I want him to stop, I would go like this. Okay? Now, if the train engine's coming in for a coupling and you're standing there at the coupling, when he would probably get, say, about, I don't know, 90 feet away from you, you would, and he's backing up, you'd back him up, and that lets him know you're getting closer, and then you steady him up. Because if you don't, he's going to run right in there, and he's going to be on the floor when he hits, and you don't want that to happen. And then when he gets close enough that you think that with the speed that he's going in the braking system, he can stop, you go like this and you stop him, okay? And then what that does, on the engine you have a coupler, and the piece that opens is called the knuckle, okay? And you want them both open. So when they come together like this, they'll go like that, and then the pin will fall. And then what you do, once they're like that, you would stretch them to make sure that they're solid, okay? And then once they're solid, you go in your prayer mode, okay? You have to get down on your knees. The trains have an air brake system, and their hoses look like snakes. And you have to put it, they're hanging like this, and what you have to do is bring them up like this, and it actually has looks like a thumb, and they're called glad hands. And then what you do is you put them together, and then they go like that, and then that makes the brake system, and then you can put the air into the system. The brake pressure keeps the brakes off. You ever heard a train before, and you'll hear a psh? Sometimes you hear them on trucks that have the air system. I don't know what theirs does, but on a train, if it goes, that means the brakes are applied. So we always want to close that angle cock to keep that air supply. But anyway, what the conductor does is put the train together, takes it apart, and he walks when there's trouble.
I like it.
But when you switch cars, you do it under, you get the cars rolling, like you'll tell the engineer, you give him it's called a kick signal. And then what he'll do, he sees that, he'll push the cars at a speed, then you stop them, you pull the pin, then the car goes gliding in, and goes bang into the cars. And that's what and then when you're all done and have the cars together the way you do, and you know how the cars are lined up in each track, you'll grab this track and pull so many cars, make a cut, then go over to the next track and get so many cars, and that's how you make the train up. And then when you're all done, those hoses I was telling you about, they have a car department that will go and inspect the cars, and they'll couple all those cars together. And what they'll actually do is put air on them. It's called ground air, so that the brakes will stay charged for when the train comes in. They don't have to recharge the train.
Excellent. Thank you, sir.
Now that's yard work. The road conductors are the ones that are on the train and they go long distance. You might be riding for miles.
I was gonna say, people always hear conductor, and it's like stamp your ticket, stamp your
No, that's passenger. Okay.
That's passenger.
But I had a job where I got on in Philadelphia. It was all trailers on the flat cars. It's called a trailer train. And I've actually had it and got off in Cumberland, Maryland. That's 300 miles later, and didn't even have to take my radio out of the thing. I was sitting over there the whole time, riding.
That sounds like a beautiful thing.
You get a set of orders every time you go to work. It'll have the engineer's name and the conductor's name, and it'll tell you stop and talk to Ken Cushy before you pass milepost 32. Milepost 55, it'll say go 30 mile an hour instead of 50, and you have to go by those orders, okay? I got a set of orders on my phone, and it says the engineer is I be driving, and the conductor's name is I be riding.
I like it. I need one of them. All right, so.
And the protective vest is so the engineer sees you and doesn't run over you.
That's probably a good idea.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. So a teenager who's just getting out of school and doesn't have a clue what they're doing, that'd be a good thing for them to look into, wouldn't it?
I would say no.
See?
Only because.
That's why you bring them on.
Only is because my daughter's experienced this now with my son-in-law, because he works there too. My wife did for many years. Oh, you're at a church service. You're at a birthday party. You're at anything. Oh, he's working. Oh, she sees not there. Yeah. Oh, he's working. Because we work 24/7, okay? And we're talking 2-hour call. They call you on the phone. They say, be here in 2 hours on this train. Okay, it's not just like, now I had regular hours in my later years, but when I first started, they call you on the telephone. They're calling you waking up in the middle of the night.
Wow.
Be here 2 hours later. Huh? What?
Got that, Riley?
Yeah.
Okay. Now you want to hear the plus side? The plus side is railroad workers work under the Railway Labor Act, which was instituted in 1926. You can look this up. Because railroaders were being maimed, killed, and stolen from in their wages. So they wrote language in there that says if the railroad takes something from you, they have to pay you. Okay? And one of the conditions in our contract was Ken comes to work at 6:30. I come to work at 8:30. They come to Ken at 8:15 and say, Bill called and said, now we're on different jobs, we're on different trains now. Not the same, we're not on the same schedule, whatever. They said, Bill's not coming in today and we need his job done more than your job. So he gets a day's pay for the time that he's already worked and gets a whole nother time ticket day's pay for working my time ticket. So that's the plus side.
All right, so let's do this then. I know what you do now, but I don't want to get into that yet. It was really interesting when you were talking about the cars coming together, the way they coupled together and all. I was sitting there thinking about the church. But before we get to that, because it was interesting, you could draw a correlation between our connection to God and what you were talking about. But was there, and this was a question that came up last week for Shane, I wanted to ask you as well. Was there ever a time when you felt far away from the Lord? I know you were telling us a story tonight in there during dinner, but let's say, was there ever a time working, and railroad, I mean, I'm sure some of the people were pretty hardcore there, pretty tough.
Yes.
Yeah. So was there ever a time where you felt far away from the Lord?
Yes.
Okay. How did you get back? Like, what was it that took you from it, and how did you get back?
Well, I was working in Philadelphia, and there was a man up there, and he was witnessing to people. And of course, I knew what he was saying because I was saved, but not living for the Lord. I got in the next building. I didn't want to hear that. I wanted to get away. But and the guy's going, "Oh, really? He don't know. He's witnessing to him." And the Lord also protected me one time very much, and this is when I wasn't living for him too. There's a car that you've probably seen before that holds automobiles. There's 3 levels if it's cars. There's 2 levels if there's trucks. We had a facility where the ramp, they have these plates that they put in there, bridge plates, but they're convertible. You can take them on and off. When they on, say they're on the car, okay? But if you pull the car away, they'll fall down this much, not all the way. And I had actually got in there one time to help my coworker, and we were pulling away from the bumping block to adjust the knuckle or open it, and that plate come down and hit me right in the head. Oh. And I know without a shadow of a doubt, where it hit me, I mean, it hurt pretty bad. It had to be the stopping point, or it would have broke my skull. And I'm convinced that the Lord protected me that time when that happened.
Well, you're still with us, so clearly you had a plan.
I mean, it was very hard, but it did. But I shared with some people earlier that the Lord had been working on me for a number of years.
You were saying that? Through
my mother, through my grandmother. I would go to my grandmother's house, and I would tell her the troubles I was having. And she said, "Well, let me show you what the Bible has to say." I said, "Grandma," and out of respect, I would look, but I didn't want to, you know. Little did I know where it says in the book of Isaiah, precept upon precept, here, you know, line upon line, here a little, there a little. They were taking the Jews back to the preliminaries because they weren't excelling in their learning, and it came back later because the Lord knows how to get you. He sent a good-looking girl, and she invited me to church, and that's how I came back to church.
She's still a good-looking girl.
Honestly, I only went because I wanted to spend more. I knew if I didn't go, I wouldn't see her from 9 o'clock till probably at least 1 or 2 in the afternoon. So I thought, you know, I'm getting.
She's still around?
Yeah.
That good-looking girl?
I mean, there's 5 hours there I'm missing. So and she was calling people through the weekend saying, "I'm going to my church that I haven't been to in a lot of years," and she said the same thing to whoever she's talking to. But Bill don't want to go. But Bill don't want to go. But Bill don't want to go. So I got spiritual. I said, I'll go.
Then you got hit.
Yeah. And little did I know.
That's right. All right, so. Wonderful wife, by the way. You have a wonderful bride. So is it safe to assume that working the railroad is a tough place to display your love of Christ?
It can be.
Is it a matter of some of those guys that work there are just, now I work construction, so similar kind of mindset as far as.
All right, let me give you an example.
Okay.
When I went there would be 4 people on the engine. You had 2 brakemen, conductor, engineer, sometimes 5 because of firemen. Fireman was one that shoved the coal back in the day. But with our labor agreements, they agreed to keep them on. They were like demoted engineers, waiting like engineers in waiting, you know? So you might have 5 people up there, okay? Well, even with the 4, there's only 3 seats up there. So guess who don't sit down? The youngest guy, okay? Also, you don't get into conversations at this point with less than 5 years seniority. Now, I got baptized, and there was a man at church saying, now, when you get up on that railroad engine, you need to dominate that conversation. I'm thinking, dominate that conversation? I can't even get in it. I don't have enough moss, you know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
So that's was a deterrent there. Now, and then, of course, in the locker room, there was a lot of camaraderie where they would run the show, too, seniority-wise. And I could have spoke up, but back in those days, I did not.
Gotcha.
I say that embarrassingly.
Well, no, but it's interesting because a lot of people don't understand, like if in unions in some cases, and I've been here 15 years, you're a journeyman. Who are you to talk? Like just follow what I'm saying and go from there. So I could see where that would be difficult. And we can always hindsight 2020 about we could have said this or we could have said that. But I just find it interesting because I know those kind of guys were probably pretty hardcore. Same way with construction. And I can remember how difficult it was to even mention that I was a Christian, much less even demonstrate or talk it. So,
yeah.
Okay. So remember back when you were a teenager, and that was like last week. Yeah, last week.
2 weeks.
2 weeks ago. That's right. What advice would you give for a teenager today?
I would say take the lead, okay? And use God's word, okay? Because our word is nothing, okay? You always have to remember that David did not win against Goliath on his own. He won as soon as he said, I come to thee in the name of the Lord. That's when he won that battle. Until then, he didn't. And pray. When you're going into something like that, pray. I'll give you an example with the Gideons. We go into firehouses, and we go to their meetings, and we ask if we can attend their meeting and give out the scriptures. The last one we went to last month, we went in. The president wasn't there, so we had to wait till he got in. He came over and said, hey, can you guys come back next month? We got in every meeting before that. You know why? Because we prayed before we went in. We forgot to pray that time before we went in. God said, oh, I'll teach you a little lesson.
How about that?
They said, can you come back next month? So there's where your boldness comes from, okay? And I like I say, I would say embarrassingly, I wasn't a bold teenager.
Well, that kind of leads me to the next question. I'm glad you brought that up. What would be the one thing you'd do differently?
Oh, my.
Mm-hmm.
I would have stayed in church. We always want to blame somebody, right? We always want to pull somebody in.
That's what I have Leo for.
My biggest problem to the backsliding was my parents were backsliding out of church at the time too. I wish I would have stayed in church, even though the church I grew up in wasn't quite like the church I'm in now. So
right.
Actually, I wish I'd have ventured down to Route 40 sooner and found that church.
Right? No, I'm with you.
That's what I would have to say, because I tell you, I'm not going to go into anything here, but I had some heartache. I had some heartache in the years that I wasn't serving the Lord. I'll share one of them with you. I always remember the date that I graduated from high school. The date, not the day. Well, I can remember the day too, but the date, I'll never forget it. I'll bet you, can you remember the date you graduated from high school?
It was, yes, June 6th was
Really?
when I graduated.
Well, mine was June 7th. You know how I can always remember that? My first son was born the next day. And I love my son. It's not the issue, but that was way too soon to be starting that part of my life. But that comes from that backslidden life.
Sure it does. Man, that's powerful, though.
Yeah. And I don't say that braggingly. I just said that just...
I didn't take it that way. I don't think anybody else in this room
just to give an example. I'm not sitting up here bragging that I did this and I did that.
Yeah.
'Cause that was the wrong way to go.
Wow. Well, now you are currently, as you just said, with the Gideons. You are out there putting the word of God pretty much anywhere and everywhere you all can get it out there. So how would you say that now that you've gotten back to church, now that I know you pretty well. I would say you and I know each other quite well. But how has it changed your life now? Like when you get up in the morning, between when you were struggling with all of those things to now, what's the gracious part of your morning? Like, what is it? Is it just that the fact that you wake up and take another breath, or?
Well, it's funny that you say that, because I'm extra thankful every night when I go to bed. And the reason that is because I didn't get to go to bed at a normal time with this.
Oh, okay.
Now I do.
Yeah.
Now I do. So, on that note, I'm so thankful about that. But I will say this. I promised the Lord that if he would allow me, I very much enjoyed this career. I did. And not that I'm a trained buff like you. That wasn't the situation. I just happen to like it very much. But I took assignments. I had seniority where I could have took other assignments, and I took certain assignments that paid well, because railroad assignments don't all pay hourly. Some of them pay mileagely. And when I say mileagely, as soon as I show up, that money's actually made. I just have to get done. I'm not going to make any more money. The money's already made. Just have to get done. But I promised the Lord if he would allow me that I would give back to him when I retired. You see, because I could have had a very lucrative career monetarily after I retired, because the railroaders work under a different system than regular workers. You all work under workman's comp. Railroad workers work under the Federal Employees Liability Act. And basically what that says, that if you get injured or something, you're on your own, you just get unemployment, and you settle with the railroad when you come back from that injury, okay? But where if you were to have a car accident, the insurance company would say, well, they were 70% at fault, but you were 30%. Under the FELA, if the railroad's that much at fault, they're all at fault, okay? So they're big claims. Now, who does big claims? Lawyers. And they have investigators that work for the lawyers. And I would be the perfect investigator, because I would go out there and I would talk the language they talk.
Oh, yeah.
So they actually coveted me for to actually come work for them like that. They said, man, you'd be perfect for that. And I said, well, number one, I promised the Lord that I would work for him when I retire. But number two, you all have to go out and entertain people. And that involves alcohol and stuff like that. Now, I don't drink, and I wouldn't be drinking with them, but I would be sanctioning that, because I'd be the guy with the lawyer's credit card. So I could never have done that. But the Lord has blessed me with this. I didn't know what I was going to do. I'm a visitation person. I love to go in hospitals and visit people, nursing homes, and I just assumed that it would work into that. But the Lord, and I do that, but he worked through. We have Gideons come in and give a report, and they ask me every year, and I say, yeah, I want to retire. Yeah, I want to retire. And I was rejected.
You were rejected by what?
The Gideon International.
How about that?
They called me up and said, Mr. Stone, we're sorry, but you do not qualify to be a Gideon. Now, I don't know what rule handbook they were looking at, because it says, can't say any more clearly, railroad conductor qualifies to be a Gideon.
Wow. So
we got that straightened out.
That's good. That's good. Well, Bill, I want to thank you, first of all, for being the third guest on Cushy's Corner.
Third?
Yeah,
that's my favorite number, 3.
I know. Well, that's why I picked you. That's why I picked you. Third time's a charm. Absolutely. All the insight onto what you did in your life, and I've talked to you about it before, but I just want to thank you. I'm glad that the teenagers got to hear an idea of some of your struggles. The fact that you've been through some of the things that maybe they think about today or they struggle with. And so I just want to thank you for coming out. I hope everybody enjoyed it. And, come on out again and join us one other time, all right?
Okay, brother.
Thanks, sir. Appreciate it. I got your box right here.
That's for you.
Oh, that's for me?
You can have that, too. Can't have the rail because I need that for my Awana group.
I got a light, Jim. I got a light. All right. Well, Harold, I guess that means that we got another thing to show, don't we? And where's Leo? And
As a struggling Christian, I need all the grace that I can get. at Gibberty Flibberty.
Cut.
Flibberty, line.
Cut. Flibberty Gibberty customizes God's insurance so he'll always provide the grace you need. Cut.
Am I allowed to riff? What if I come out of the water? Is this where they're going to put the Statue of Liberty? Ribbity ribbity.
Cut. We'll dub it.
Flibberty Gibberty customizes God's insurance, so he'll always provide the grace you need.
Flibberty Gibberty Flibberty Gibberty. Flibberty Gibberty Flibberty Gibberty.
I wasn't moving on that. I apologize.
That's good. It's all right.
So here we are in front of the last train.
I just thought of the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I got two Oompa Loompas sitting up there.
Okay, first of all, the Oompa Loompa would probably come up to my waist, and
just like that. See,
he's not orange enough for it. He's not orange enough for it. All right, well, Josh, we're at the end, which means he's going to run through.
No, we're at the front.
We're at the front.
The end of the line.
There should be an F somewhere. Bill said there should be. So we're at the front, even though the front could be the. Who cares? We were lost. We're at the.
I'm lost.
There's the front of the engine. Okay, but Harold, now they got to find Riley, right?
Yes.
So we're gonna get out of the way because we're gonna block the picture.
Hey, we should probably get out of the way.
Let's get out of the way.
Block the picture.
All right, here we go. Go ahead, run it.
I found him.
I found it.
It is an elf.
I found him.
A what?
I found it.
Okay, keep going.
And then we
I found him.
I found him too.
You guys need help. All right.
And our next picture.
I found him.
Oh, I found him.
Yeah.
It would be pretty good if I could hide him.
If he can hide, if you could hide him here, I'd say that's the best skill I've ever seen.
I didn't find him.
You didn't find him there?
No.
All right.
And
One
I
more.
was considering putting him underneath the train. You know, like in the dance.
I thought about that 1,000 times.
But you didn't give me enough train track to lay him across with the rope. You know.
Well, I'm so sorry. Okay, 100 times. Did I say 1,000? Did I say 1,000? I meant 100. No, Riley, I would never do that.
The Peanut Gallery says, "Is that the last train to Clarksburg?" I thought it was the last train to Clarksville, right?
Clarksville.
It was the monkeys.
But John, there's a Clarksburg, West Virginia. John's dreaming about going home.
Oh,
That's
okay.
all it is. All right. Well, so I hope you found Riley. If you didn't find Riley, that's okay.
Next time.
Nobody's tried to do it yet. John Moody's the first one that's ever said he thinks he knows where it is.
Actually, no. Miss Chris found him.
Miss Chris did find him. That's right.
He's up in the hanging.
I had to
in the
put the
rafters
money in the bucket.
circus, yeah.
That's exactly right. Okay. Well, next week we have a special. This one next week. He said he's going to be here. Can talk about Riley when he becomes older, and this guy's going to have to get him out of there.
Okay.
That just gives you. This ought to give you a hint. Okay. Actually, it'd probably look more like this. I'm sorry, sir.
Totally
but anyways,
fine.
next week I have a surprise. Riley, your head's in the way. People just saw your ginormous head walk past the
We
train.
have cameras in here, you know, people.
Did you? Everybody just found Riley as he passed by. But hey, thanks so much for joining. Thanks, Bill Stone, for coming tonight. Thank you all for that. The ones that are here, we had really good food. Again, we keep telling you that, but nobody keeps coming. Our guests are now getting fed. So come on out. Join us next week at 6:30 live in person. 7 o'clock, we're live on Facebook and YouTube, and we really appreciate you sharing this. So do it. Heart, love, all that other stuff. And Riley's left the building, so we will too. See you next week.